The unshielded Altaria not going to fancy the work of Shadow Claydol. The opponent tried for Rock Tomb catch onto Gastrodon, catch attempt unsuccessful. And what's even worse for this opponent is, little do they know they gave me the alignment that I want. Claydol has done its job. Trainer, Water Pulse me, you enjoy yourself. The opponent says, I will. Water Pulse moves me from the field of play, but this game is completely over. We wait our timer just to make the style points body slam catch back onto Gyarados. And this is why you shouldn't play at like 1 in the morning. I completely missed the button, but despite me being a complete potato, this game is signed, sealed and delivered. Back out comes Altaria and Hippowdon about to have his wicked way. PvPoke's #1 ranked pick, going to be straight in and straight out. Welcome back to the channel. If I sound tired, that's because I probably am. This video is being recorded at 3 in the morning because I've got a lot of things to do tomorrow. So if I don't make it now, it won't get made at all. Just a matter of hours ago, I done a duo stream with the one and only Tameztech. Go check him out. I 100% recommend his content. He's an absolute mad lad, so if you enjoy my stuff, you're going to enjoy his. Because I'm one of the few trainers in the Go Battle League that doesn't really give a shit about Elo, I allowed chat to pick what I was going to use. We had stuff like Alolan Golem, Arbok, Ledian. Let me tell you, don't use any of them Pokemon, they are absolutely awful. But one thing we did learn is that Fang Hippowdon is the absolute secret sauce. The complete disrespect to Ice type in this meta is crazy, and Hippowdon is just going nom 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 nom, eating all the top meta threats up. Team building today is nice and simple. We're going to have Gyarados in the lead position, firstly, because my favourite Pokemon from the Season 24 move rebalance, that reworked to Dragon Breath, make this glass cannon insanely quick, and it hits incredibly hard, and it's just a hell of a lot of fun to play. Claydol's going to be operating on the save switch, looking to bait out the opponent's best ground type counter, clearing the path for the Hippo to sweep the back line. 1 point to know, I don't know what the heck has happened recently. Of one of these updates, the game state is absolute dog shit. Niantic/Scopely, give your bloody head a wobble and fix it. With all that being said, without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we lead Gyarados into Guzzlord. Gyarados, being a fake dragon, I say a fake dragon, it looks like a dragon, but apparently it's a water and flying type, means we're only taking neutral from the Dragon Breath, but Guzzlord, thanks to his dark dragon typing, completely walls my moveset. We land the crunch, the opponent fire off the brutal swing, look to dump yet further energy, and you know what, that looks like 3 mud slap range to me. If the opponent stays in, looks to reach another brutal swing, all they're going to do is feed Claydol a massive energy lead. Speaking of energy lead, of all the Pokemon to send into a loaded Claydol, I don't think Charizard is that counter swap you're looking for. We fire off the Rock Tomb, forcing the protection, we save Claydol, make the pivot into Hippowdon. It's kind of interesting the opponent's opting to stay in. This team must be incredibly weak to ground. We correctly shot the first Blast Burn. I may as well just double shield, fully Ice Fang farm down, and if they are weak to ground, this should be GG's. Out comes Dunsparce, in theory, not weak to ground, but running Rollout as a quick move. They're doing literally no fast move pressure. We full send the Scorching Sands, instantly rocking this little Dunsparce below the half health range. What even is Dunsparce? Is it a Dragonfly? If that's the case, it kind of makes sense why Hippowdon completely bullies it. On what planet is a Dragonfly beating a Hippo? Not planet Earth. The opponent went for a bad manners rock slide. I've got time for it, but unfortunately for this opponent, this game's over. We fire off yet another Rock Tomb. The opponent chooses to invest the Protect Shield. Why? I'm not entirely sure. We mud slap farm down and take that game. In the next battle, our target has been acquired. The opponent save switch into Dunsparce. Who put the Dunsparce video out? I'm sure it was in someone's top team video, honestly. Monday/Tuesday on YouTube is the most depressing place in the world. It's top team videos and practice battles that completely put me to sleep. Speaking of which, if I wasn't making this video, I'd be probably watching one of them said videos to help me nod off. That of course is a joke, or perhaps I'm not joking. But what I do know is, you shouldn't take everyone to say all that seriously. Honestly, the amount of people that take this game far too seriously is hilarious. The opponent pivots back out into Marowak, and here I intentionally stay in as I don't want to switch lock myself. I can land this Aquatail on the charge attack priority. If the opponent shields, I can match shields. The opponent now has no shields to hide behind. We're not switch locked and the opponent is. They did bank a rock slide, but you know what's going to tank a rock slide really well? Yep, of course it's the Hippo. We should be in pretty much an unlosable position. I'm not entirely sure what's going to be almost a full health Hippo and a full health Gyarados with a shield advantage. The answer to that question certainly isn't Clodsire. Even if they falls in an Earthquake, Clodsire hits like a wet noodle, Hippowdon shrugs off the damage, saving one Protect Shield, hopefully for the next game, because game state's been awful. Scorching Sands removes them from the field of play, we Ice Fang farm down Dunsparce and take that game. In the next battle, we see Talonflame in the lead position, the opponent save switch into Pangoro. Who invited Pangoro to the party? I don't really have a great answer for this. We end up throwing on CMP, losing CMP. I tank a Night Slash, the opponent shields the Aqua Tail. Now I've got a shield advantage, I'm happy to send in Claydol. Of course, we're not going to shield the first move in case the opponent gets the boost. Wonderful. No boost occurs. We can now go for the one shield, a full Mud Slap farm down, making it near impossible for Talonflame to re-enter the arena. The opponent makes use of the misaligned timers, saving that Pangoro as a potential sack swap. We land the Shadow Ball, unfortunately unable to reach the next one. The opponent does get the full Mud Slap farm down, and we're going to chuck out Gyarados just to absorb the energy. The opponent probably thinking, why would I sack Gyarados? Well, unfortunately for my opponent, we've got yet another very good answer for Talonflame. This is only a Body Slam, which is going to do less than potentially a Fly, Brave Bird, Flame Charge, whatever Talonflame throws. My only lose gun at this point is the opponent somehow able to make a catch. Two Ice Fangs and the Rock-type Weather Ball. Rock-type Weather Ball forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. The opponent go for the catch, transfer the Ice Fang. Back out comes Talonflame, and double super effective Weather Ball is going to be all she wrote. GG's that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we see an awful lead. Well, is it awful? We outpaced the first Aqua Tail that is super effective. I'm going to spam this Aqua Tail and then say, Claydol, go quickly! My Claydol save switch is answered by Forretress. You might think I'm hard punished, but let's be honest. Everyone's going to run Samtomb because they're horny for them debuffs. I personally run Earthquake, and if they've got Earthquake, they can knock me out. Have a trainer, if it's anything but an Earthquake, we're going to take either switch or shield advantage. Opponent fire off the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb simply does not cut it. Claydol hold strong, reaching yet another Rock Tomb, forcing the opponent's first protection of the game. Claydol's actually put in hella work here, and this is only a Sand Tomb, believe it or not. I sometimes count. I used to always count, but nowadays I just kind of tap my phone and hope for the best. But regardless, we tank that damage. We pivot into Hippowdon, and out comes Talonflame. Here I end up throwing a super risky on CMP. I could have given the opponent a full free Incinerate, and if I would have took the extra, they'd be emerging victorious. However, they did not, so Hippowdon going to fire off the Rock-type Weather Ball. The first one forces the opponent's first protection, one Ice Fang, and the next Rock-type Weather Ball. One Ice Fang usually isn't good timing, but this time it is intentional. I didn't want to take the Incinerate. The opponent playing out to the bitter end. These battles were played around 2700, so I guess some people are still sweating out, looking to rank up. The opponent hoping to have a heart attack or lag out. Neither outcome occurs. We fire off the Aqua Tail and take that game. In the next battle, we see Cradilly in the lead position. Point to know about this team, we are triple weak to Cradilly. Well, at least Cradilly can hit all three team members super effective. However, Gyarados with shields to hide behind isn't too bad. Claydol can hit for neutral for the Mud Slaps, and the Ice Fangs also hit back for super effective. So on paper it might look like a core breaker, but we're actually alright into it. We're going to release the next Aqua Tail, and if the opponent shields this, we're going to undertap into Claydol, sneak the Mud Slap, and hope to catch a Rock Tomb. When I played this battle, I thought, wow, this is actually going very much according to plan, and then out comes Charizard. And this time, we don't have a huge energy lead, so we are going to get outpaced. Well, not outpaced, we lose CMP to a potential Blast Burn, and Claydol gets Blast Burn to the face, making a very brief cameo appearance in this battle. I send out Gyarados over farm, fire off the Aqua Tail, looking to move them from the field of play. When the opponent shields this, I'm thinking, maybe it's double fire flying with Talonflame in the back. That is my team read. Is it correct? I guess we're about to find out. The opponent did actually get the boost there, because why bloody not? But regardless, I was always going to shield this Blast Burn, as that would be a one-hit KO, boosted or not. Out comes Pangoro, so team read wasn't perfect. The question now becomes, does Scorching Sands do enough damage to Ice Fang farm down before the close combat's reached? I can't even see the health bar, but unfortunately the answer to that question is no. We get close combat into their face, and this one does end in heartbreaking defeat. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Altaria in the lead position. I was really hoping the opponent pivoted out so we could realign, Hippowdon into it later down the line. The opponent going to fire off the Sky Attack. I allow the opponent to throw first because my Crunch wouldn't be lethal. I was just going to farm up to a range where hopefully Crunch will be lethal. They actually send out Fortress. Running Bug Bite, that isn't really great into Gyarados either. We fire off back-to-back Aqua Tails, one went unshielded and one forced to protect shield. Again, we're going to send out Claydol here. The opponent actually don't throw any energy. I'm going to take the initiative, fire off the Rock Tomb, and the opponent very quickly find himself all shields down. The opponent actually bank all their energy, hoping it's useful against my third. Unfortunately for them, it's pretty useless against that as well. We land the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb isn't quite enough to knock out, but this works for me as it just sets up a Dragon Breath farm down for Gyarados. I imagine they're going to try and snipe me down or force my final protection with that banked energy. But that works for me. I'm not actually going to switch out as I don't want to debuff Hippowdon. We're going to let them throw and then send out Hippowdon looking to close the show. They actually send out Scizor. Who sends out an unshielded Scizor? Honestly, we fire off the Aqua Tail. Non-Shadow. I don't think I've ever seen a non-Shadow Scizor in the Go Battle League. But here it is. We're going to shield up potential Trailblaze. Even if the opponent's got Earthquake, non-stab. Won't be lethal. I say won't be lethal. It'll probably come close, but we should survive. The opponent fire off the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb simply does not cut it. We leave with a Scorching Sands. Is it necessary? Not particularly. We YOLO it anyway and take that game. And as if by magic, after throwing a bit of bad manners, having some fun, we have found ourselves a problem, and its name is Abomasnow. How do I beat Abomasnow, to be honest? Haven't really figured that out to this point. We tank the Weather Ball, fire off the Crunch, force the Protect Shield, and rather than concede a farm down, we pivot into Hippowdon. Hippowdon going to instantly put up that Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Weather Ball, and I've got to be mindful the opponent might try to catch a Weather Ball. What the hell is this? Water Gun Quagsire. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. We are completely hard countered. Gyarados is super low. So I'm actually going to send out Claydol. I'm hoping I can one shield a full Mud Slap farm down. The opponent doesn't throw at the best timings. That looks to be possible, but these water guns are doing crazy damage, and I've got literally hardly any HP on either Pokemon. And it looks like I might be saving one shield for next season. The opponent sends out Talonflame. I imagine they don't shield this and save it for Abomasnow. We're doubled up. We should be able to debuff them. Hopefully with a debuff we'll reach a Crunch. Gyarados, you've got one job, buddy. Reach the Crunch. We certainly aren't getting there. Aqua Tail. Isn't going to be lethal either. To be honest, it looks kind of close, but in reality, it wasn't really. I got my ass completely kicked. GG's to that opponent. And that is what you call an RPS loss. Kind of is what it is. This is the Go Battle League. It's blind battles. That is going to happen sometimes. In the next battle, see Forretress in the lead position. Thankfully for me, I'm not running Volt Switch, although these bug bites don't look all that resisted. Gyarados is just so bloody glassy, man. Any sort of fast move pressure just tears through your HP. I was really thinking I was going to get Sandtomb baited here. Thankfully I did not. However, I don't really think Sandtomb baiting makes too much sense, because even if you throw a Sandtomb, which I shield, we're still going to outpace the two further Aqua Tails before the next Rock Tomb's reached. We overfarm, fire off the next Aqua Tail. The opponent has a decision to make. They invest the Protect Shield. Look for the Bug Bite farm down. Gyarados like, I might be glassy, bro, but you're not Bug Bite farm me down. The next Aqua Tail removes them from the field of play. We pivot into Claydol. The unshielded Altaria doesn't fancy the work. The opponent tried for the Rock Tomb catch onto Gastron, but little do they know they've given me the alignment that I want. I'm sure someone's going to ask, why am I running Shadow Ball? If I'm being brutally honest, it's because Claydol used to be Niantic's love child. They used to buff it every single season. It's got like 56,000 charge moves. I don't want to waste TMs. Is Shadow Ball the right moveset? Probably not, but we're just rocking with whatever we've got and not wasting resources. You can see there, I tried to make the catch onto Gyarados, completely missed the button like an absolute potato. But this is only a body slam. And Hippowdon is still going to have his wicked way of Altaria. Back out comes Altaria, Rock-type Weather Ball. Lands for super effective damage. The opponent reaches the parting charge move. That Ice Fang, that Snark will be knocking them out. And we are going to be able to take that game. In the next battle, we once again see PvPoke's #1 rank pick, Altaria, in the lead position. And this opponent does actually pivot out. And I was thinking, yes, I'm going to get Hippowdon aligned against it. Oh man, I remember this battle. Watch what happens. Gyarados should win the 2 shields, even if they go Trailblaze. But you know, it won't win the 2 shields if they throw the Night Slash and get the boost on the first go of it. Bloody hell, man. How many people are boosting against me? I'm kind of forced to pivot out as I don't want to concede a farm down. They're already 2-stage boosted. The game, like, have another boost so we don't get off much Mud Slap damage, and it is all going wrong. Honestly, I pray to them RNG gods every day before bed. I am changing religion. Them RNG gods are bloody useless. Despite having the worst RNG luck in the entire world, potentially this is winnable. Altaria completely dead weight. It kind of depends on what their third is. Out comes a Spark Lantern. The opponent goes for the Scorching Sands catch. Not today. Is this winnable? Probably not. We actually perfectly farm down, leaving with the Scorching Sands, but Lantern, the silly electric fish, is far too bulky. Scorching Sands, it simply doesn't cut it. And unfortunately, you guessed it, heartbreaking defeat. GG's to that opponent, and I'm going to say you're absolutely bloody lucky git. Heading into the next battle. Of all the leads Gyarados wants to see, Magneton certainly isn't it. Claydol is the designated save switch, but here I think I definitely should have went into Hippowdon. As Hippowdon would have been my soft counter, as the Ice Fangs would have been resisted. Let's see if it works out for me. We fire off the Rock Tomb after farming up to what could be an Ice Beam. If I had Ice Beam, I would have thrown it. Awful. We get minimal farm now as well. Hippowdon, please be good against both the lead and the back line. We're not, but wait. This is just a body slam. I'll be honest, I didn't even know at this point if it's a Shadow Magneton or a regular, but either way, that thing is hella glassy. We fire off the Scorching Sands. That's the first Protect Shield. Can we win this? I definitely need to shield so I don't get Thundershock farm down. The question now becomes, does an Aqua Tail knock out Magneton? It's not Shadow. Maybe? Question mark? Surely? Question mark? Moment of truth. Is Aqua Tail enough to knock out Gyarados? GG's to that opponent. The tough leads are unrelenting. We attempt to throw one Dragon Breath, pivot into Claydol, and once again we are completely RPS'd. What is going on here? We are having such a tough string of battles, man. However, rather than complaining, what you got to try and do on the save switch is gain an advantage. Here we've gained two advantages, because firstly, we forced a shield advantage, and secondly, the opponent makes a mistake and not energy balling, meaning they're forced to dump yet further energy. So potentially Hippowdon is going to be able to clean up. They're double debuffs, we know we can tank whatever they throw. They throw the Weather Ball, pivot into Dunsparce. Please tell me we caught the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb? It's not even Rock Tomb. Rock Slide. This is what happens when I shoutcast at like 3, 4 in the morning. I just talk all sorts of craziness. We're now going to shield this move up. I'm thinking, do 6 Ice Fangs, put them in a range where Rock-type Weather Ball's lethal. I'm not confident that, so I full send the Scorching Sands. A Scorching Sands that forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We know we tank one drill run still. The opponent then again tries to snipe. Snipe attempt unsuccessful. We send out Gyarados, fire off the Crunch. Crunch able to knock out Abomasnow. Back out comes Dunsparce. We're going to be able to outpace to the Aqua Tail. We've got literally no HP. Out comes Talonflame. Unfortunately, we don't survive the Incinerate. Don't reach the Rock-type Weather Ball, and that one does end in heartbreaking defeat. That was against Twitch streamer, fresh to death. GG's to him. Heading into the next battle. I really need to pull my finger out. I believe that's like 3 losses on the bounce. Most people say content creators that don't show their losses, and I'm getting my ass kicked left, right, and centre, having a very wobbly patch here. We see Cradilly lead. You know how we like to play this. Fire off the next Aqua Tail, then look to catch a Rock Tomb onto Claydol. Okay, so far so good. We're able to waste Cradilly's energy at the cost of being debuffed. However, disaster strikes as out comes Guzzlord. This isn't actually as bad as you might think, as no one runs Crunch nowadays, and Crunch is the move they're going to need to have to knock me out, as Brutal Swing simply won't cut it. They threw on 5, hence I'm under tapping here, so if I threw one more Mud Slap, I'd end up playing to the CMP tie. I did not win, I'd rather get off some damage. Opponent does get a very nice Dragon Tail farm down, but get greedy, allow Gyarados to reach the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail forces the final Protect Shield, and suddenly I'm starting to feel good about this battle. We've now got Hippowdon with a shield advantage looking to clean up. The opponent sent out Cradilly. Not sure on that play. All they've done is feed me free energy. Out comes a shiny Shadow Charizard, and this game is signed, sealed, and delivered. I looked for after Rock-type Weather Ball before the opponent reached the Blast Burn. They settle for the Air Cutter, but Air Cutter simply doesn't cut it. Rock-type Weather Ball, double super effective. Get that Charizard off my screen. We Ice Fang farm down Guzzlord, and we're back to winning ways. In the next battle, we see Scizor in the lead position. Let's see how many times this opponent can unnecessarily boost. Trainer, I've got a family. No boost, please. I'm going to invest 1 Protect Shield, blocking up either the Night Slash or Trailblaze. They go for the Night Slash, and thankfully this time, no boost comes through. Gyarados going to rip off the next Aqua Tail. Scizor users love to shield. The opponent is going to be forced to dump energy. I could shield here. However, what does switch advantage really do for me? I've got 2 of the same Pokemon in the back, so I'd rather send out Claydol. I could tank this Night Slash as they're not boosted, but potentially it's the hardest hitting move left in the game. A Shadow Scizor hits like a truck. The opponent then sends out Thickersby. I'm going to bank the Shadow Ball, make the pivot into Hippowdon. The opponent sends out Altaria. Trainer, not like this. What did this Altaria ever do to you to get treated like this? It gets fully Ice Fang farmed down from full health, allowing Hippowdon to leave with the Scorching Sands. Scorching Sands rocks the opponent deep into the yellow health raise. The opponent is going to fire off the Fire Punch, removing me from the field of play. On this moveset, Claydol can only hit for resisted, but 1 Rock Tomb will mean they're going to need double Scorching Sands to knock me out, and they simply aren't going to have the energy. The opponent reaches 1 Scorching Sands, but Claydol going to shrug off the damage, reach the next Rock Tomb, and that is going to be all she wrote. Shout out this opponent for sacrificing their Altaria to the Pokegods and making my life very simple. Heading into the next battle, we see Furret in the lead position. I'll be the first to admit my fast move time with a 1-turn move is awful. However, we reach the Aqua Tail on 9, which I look to throw instantly. You can see I'm getting the spinning ball of death. Why? I'm not entirely sure. I actually upgraded my internet recently, so now it is a lot better. We just kind of got forced over tap. We then try to play to CMP. The opponent doesn't play. However, able to knock him out, and out comes the ever-annoying Marshmallow Wigglytuff. Whenever we win lead, we're always pivoting out into one of our ground types, trying to bait out the best ground type counter, so Hippowdon's going to have the best chance of sweeping. They shield the Rock Tomb. Icy Wind is super effective at non-stab and debuffed. We look to reach 1 further Rock Tomb. The opponent makes a very nice catch, or so you'd like to think, catching onto Gastrodon. However, all they've actually done is debuff themselves in the process. I send back out Gyarados, and here I'm going to throw slightly suboptimally in case I get over tap. I don't want to give away a full free Mud Slap. We're able to force the opponent's final protection, and they'll be forced to throw 2. Gyarados has done its job, and once again Hippowdon looks to clean up. We send out Hippowdon. The opponent go for the wham bam combo play, send out the Marshmallow. A non-stab Icy Wind going to do objective less than a Water Pulse. Actually throw the Swift, look to reach 1 more. They don't get there, and you guessed it, Hippowdon is going to claim yet another victim. Back out comes Gastrodon. Hi Gastrodon, bye Gastrodon. And while we're at it, take that stupid Mud Slap Wigglytuff core somewhere else. Heading into the next battle, we see the Gyarados mirror. A lot of people that use Gyarados look to force alignment in the back, hence they're going straight Aqua Tail, recognising I'm not going to shield. I wouldn't win CMP either, so I don't really think there's much point in Aqua Tailing. As I look to reach double Aqua Tail, I just lose CMP, so I full send the crunch, guaranteeing the shield or the knockout. We actually get the debuff, and that debuff could be kind of huge. I don't think they're going to reach back-to-back Aqua Tails. The opponent stays in, look to reach another one. They don't get there. We get the farm down. Out comes yet another Gastrodon. Oh man, I've missed this bloody thing. Not. We fire off the Scorching Sands. Here I recognise we're in Body Slam range, so rather than tank the Body Slam, we save Hippowdon, catch the Body Slam onto Claydol, baiting out Altaria. And once again, I'm very, very upset I've got no Ice Beam, as you better believe I'd be knocking this bloody thing clean out the sky. As sad as I am that we haven't got Ice Beams, we missed out on a couple of huge booms in today's video. We should still be in a good position here. So when I reach this Rock Tomb, I'm going to fully no-bubble it. And the reason for that is, I want to farm them down as opposed to concede farm myself. But my opponent, a complete potato, sorry not sorry, using Gastrodon, I said what I said. The reason they're a potato is, they should be looking to farm me down as opposed to concede farm themselves. They didn't do that, and I'm going to capitalise. We throw this move instantly, and not to take the Mud Slap damage. And this battle of fast move beatdown, there's only going to be one winner. The Hungry Hippo, Ice Fang farms down, and we end today's video with a big fat dub. GG's, and thanks for playing. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's video. Unfortunately, Hippowdon didn't quite find all that many targets in today's video, but my god was it still putting in hella work. On Tameztech stream, fucking hell, it was an absolute Hippowdon show. Some teams were even triple weak to the Ice Fang. You know what I'm going to say, if you want to use this team or use Hippowdon, get on it quickly before one of the other big content creators post it and everyone's looking to hard counter it. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to my battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.